Welcome back, listeners. Tonight's story isn't about ghosts, not the kind that float or whisper in old halls. This is about a different kind of haunting, the kind that wears a smile, sleeps in the next room, and watches you when you think you're alone. These are true accounts of disturbing roommates and Airbnb hosts, each one a quiet nightmare. Let's begin. I moved to Seattle after graduating college, eager to start my new job in graphic design. Rent was outrageous, so I went the shared housing route. Found a listing online that seemed fine. A guy named Eli had a dog named Knox. The picture showed a clean apartment in Capitol Hill, a private room, and shared kitchen. I messaged him. He replied quickly, friendly tone, normal questions. I visited the place, met Eli, and it all seemed ... Okay, quiet guy, a little awkward, but I figured that came with tech work. He wore thick glasses and had that stooped posture of someone who lived behind screens, but he was polite, soft-spoken, offered me coffee, let me look around freely. I noticed the blinds were always drawn, every window, even in daylight. Son bothers Knox, he said. I looked at the dog, an old pit mix, who didn't even lift his head when I pet him. I moved in on a Saturday. That first night, I noticed a few things. My door didn't have a lock, not unusual in some older apartments, but still odd. I texted Eli about it and he said he'd fix it next week. I was too tired to argue. Around 3 a.m. I woke up, not from a noise, from a feeling. You know that moment between dreaming and waking when you know someone's looking at you? I sat up fast. My room was pitch black, no sound. I told myself it was paranoia, maybe new place jitters. I laid back down. In the morning, I noticed my bedroom door was open, just slightly, maybe 2 inches. I always close my door, not out of fear, but habit. I asked Eli if he'd come in for something, maybe looking for Knox. He shook his head, expression unreadable. No, he said. Didn't hear a thing last night. Knox was lying on the floor beside him, silent. Something about the dog bothered me. No tail wags, no interest in smells or people, just stillness, too quiet for a dog. Later that day, I noticed a small black device plugged into the hallway outlet just outside my door. It was a motion sensor. I crouched to get a better look at the black plastic sensor. Tiny red light. Blinking. Eli. I called down the hall. He leaned out of the kitchen, holding a half-eaten apple. Yeah. What's this thing? Outside my room. Oh, he said casually. That's just for Knox, so I can track when he's pacing at night. He gets restless sometimes. I didn't buy it. The sensor faced my door, not down the hallway where the dog would walk. I wanted to say something, but I also didn't want to come off like the paranoid new roommate, so I nodded and went back to my room, closing the door firmly behind me. That night, I shoved a chair under the doorknob. No joke. Maybe it was overkill, but my gut told me something wasn't right. Around 2:30 a.m., I heard movement, not the soft scuffle of a dog's paws. This was heavier, deliberate. Someone walking, slowly, right up to my door. Then it stopped. I held my breath. There was a faint click, like a camera shutter. Then the sound of retreating footsteps. I stayed frozen in bed for almost an hour, ears straining, heart pounding. Finally, I dozed off out of pure exhaustion. In the morning, the motion sensor was gone. I asked Eli about it casually over breakfast. He gave a blank stare. What sensor? The one in the hall. I pushed. Black device. Red light. He blinked once. I don't have anything like that. He was lying. I knew it. Later that day, I searched the hallway outlets, the living room, the coat closet, nothing. It was gone. But the weirdest part, Knox was gone too. No barking, no toenails tapping across the wood floors. I finally asked, where's Knox? Eli didn't look up from his computer. Oh, he's at the vet. Oh, okay. Routine stuff. I nodded. Hope he's all right. Eli finally looked at me then. He's old, he said. Might not come back. I didn't know what to say. Something was off, and I realized I didn't know anything about this guy. No social media, no pictures on the walls, no mail in the entryway. Everything about him was blank. That night, I didn't sleep. I laid in bed, phone clutched in my hand, flashlight app open, ready. At 3:12 a.m., my bedroom light flicked on. My body locked in terror. I was positive I had turned it off, and I was sure no one could have come in because of the chair. But there it was, bright light, filling the room. I sat up, checked the chair. still wedged against the doorknob. Then I noticed something even worse. In the reflection of my mirror, there was a face peeking from the hallway. My heart nearly stopped. The mirror wasn't directly facing the door, it was angled toward the hallway, and reflected in its dusty glass was half a face. Just an eye and part of a pale forehead. Still, watching, I didn't move. My phone, still in my hand, was the only source of light. Now the overhead bulb had started to flicker. Another blink, another flash. Then it went out completely. The face was gone. I scrambled off the bed, yanked the chair away from the doorknob, and flung the door open. The hallway was empty, silent. Every door closed. I walked barefoot and shaking through the darkened apartment. The air was stale. I couldn't hear anything, not even the hum of the refrigerator. I tiptoed to Eli's room. The door was cracked open. I nudged it. Empty. No Eli, no knocks, no furniture even, just a mattress. Here's what's insane. The unit had been empty for weeks. Nobody named Eli matched the lease. There was a man who had lived. Their tenant said he was quiet, walked a large dog, fit the profile, but he'd vanished almost a month before I even moved in. The landlord had been trying to evict him. The locks were supposed to be changed, but someone had kept getting in, and no one ever saw the dog again. What was Eli? I don't know. A squatter, a voyeur, or something else entirely. I never got a clear answer, but that last night, when I looked back at the apartment and saw that pale face, I realized something chilling. The eyes that watched me, they weren't Eli's. They were much older, hungrier, like they'd been watching for years, and they weren't done.
I'm always here.